first week of that wet, windy May of 1734, returning from giving a concert in Florence, I had been shocked to find Venice in a state of great excitement over Florio's upcoming appearance in the wedding opera. Born Francesco Florio in a village near Bologna, the vocal wonder had acquired legions of admirers who had taken to calling him Il Florino. If I was scaling the lower slopes of fame in my native Venice, Il Florino stood on the heady international heights. His luscious soprano and never-ending notes had conquered London, Vienna, Dresden, and every noteworthy opera house in between. We had clashed from the moment he'd set his beautifully shod foot on the San Marco stage.
"Maestro Torani, you must excuse my late arrival,"
he had said that first day, striding on stage, waving a plump, bejeweled hand at the musical director.
"My worthless servant failed to scent my bath-water. By the time the fellow ransacked my trunks for the proper oil, the water had cooled, and he was obliged to start all over again. So tiresome."
The statuesque singer unhooked the clasp on his cloak and stood in an attitude of anticipation. Lace ruffles poured down his chest, and a watch chain loaded with charms and medals spanned his considerable midsection. Torani opened and shut his mouth several times, then motioned for a pair of theatre lackeys to remove the garment of crimson silk. Tenor Niccolo Galliani and flamboyant contralto Rosa Tiretta led the pack of secondary singers watching Florio with intense interest. Niccolo's gaze was worshipful, Rosa's frankly appraising. Emma Albani, our veteran prima donna, came forward, bobbing her head in the suggestion of a curtsy.
"You probably don't remember Signor Florio, but we sang together in Dresden years ago." "But I do recall, Signora. We shared several ensembles."
Florio brought her hand to the vicinity of his mouth, kissed the air, then said so loudly the stage hands on the catwalks above the stage could hear,
"For pity's sake, do try to keep up to tempo this time."
The soprano snatched her hand back, and a flush crept over her doughy, powdered cheeks. Our Emma prided herself on her cordial disposition. Other leading ladies might renege on contracts, refuse to sing arias which failed to suit, or come burdened with spendthrift husbands or meddlesome mammas, but not the lady who had been dubbed the sweet angel of song by her fellow Venetians. Of course, that appellation had been given more than a few years ago. The angel's voice had lately developed a wobble in the high register, but Emma contrived to keep herself in work by being supremely agreeable. Besides amusing us with clever jokes, she never argued with fellow singers, and never said no to theatre management. I had always enjoyed working with her. When Florio's needlessly cruel remark erased Emma's pleasant smile and replaced it with a look of embarrassed confusion, the visiting Castrato slipped yet another notch in my estimation. After Emma had retreated to the dark sanctuary of the wings, Torani cleared his throat and pressed me forward with a nudge to the small of my back. "Signor Florio, allow me to present Venice's finest castrato and favorite son, Tito Amato." To my surprise, Florio bowed, declared himself enchanted to make my acquaintance, and made theatrical small talk while Torani got the delayed rehearsal underway. Throughout Emma's opening recitative and aria, Florio kept a smile pasted on his broad, flat face. He nodded indulgently as he waved a finger to keep time with her music. Something about that haughty smile nettled my pride. My stomach churned as it had when I'd first heard that Florio would be singing the lead, and an unfortunate compulsion gradually took possession of my mind. By the time it was my turn to sing, I was burning to prove my worth and show Florio how hard he would have to work to captivate the audience for his own. From the moment my lips parted, I ignored Maestro Torani's direction from the harpsichord and went my own way. Though the operatic conventions of the day called for singers to decorate the written melody with their own improvisations, the judicious performer showed his artistry with a discreet application of musical ornamentation. In my zeal, I dumped discretion and good taste out the window like a fishwife.